Okay, I'd like to call the meeting of the Ivins City Arts Commission to order. It's August 12th, 5 o'clock p.m. Welcome to everyone. I am going to acknowledge there's a quorum here today for any matters that need to be voted on. And if everyone would take a moment and give me any disclosures or conflicts you might have with the agenda. We'll start with Liz.
No conflicts.
No conflicts.
No conflicts.
No conflicts, no disclosures.
No conflicts or disclosures.
No conflicts or disclosures.
Okay, very good. So the first thing I'd like to do is introduce our new commissioner, Josie Berzink. Josie, welcome. And rather than me talking about her, I thought we might just do this.
Hey, Ivins, don't scroll away just yet. I have a question. What if your artwork could become public art? Listen up.
The Ivins City Art Commission is looking for artists to transform 5 utility boxes at the Southern Utah Veterans Home into works of art. Your design should blend 2 themes. Out of the desert, celebrating the beauty and landscapes of Southern Utah, and military patriotism and history, to honor the veterans who call the Southern Utah Veterans Home home. Now, before you start creating, here's our biggest tip. Be sure to review the call for art on our website. It includes the utility box dimensions, artwork examples, and submission requirements so you can design your piece to fit the boxes beautifully. The next submission deadline is August 15th, so head to the link in our bio to learn more. We can't wait to see your creativity become part of Ivins. That's a wrap.
Thank you.
So welcome, Josie. Welcome, Josie. And as you can see, we already put her to work before our first meeting. Next item. I guess I should say this before we go any further. The technology is not working today, so if you want to see what's going on, you have to turn around and look at the overhead. So, Barb, you're in the catbird seat right now because you can see it and none of us can. But anyway, we'll go to item 2B, Heritage Days meeting report. We just had a meeting this afternoon. Everything is well underway. Bob Flowers is the Grand Marshal, and I don't think there's any issues or anything. Everybody's pretty comfortable with what's going on. Later in our agenda, Michelle will be talking about our part of the meeting, or Heritage Days, which will be the parade and then the art exhibit, of course. Oh, it's a lag. Let me see if I can turn it down.
I was beginning to think I was schizophrenic.
I thought it was Liz listening to something on your phone.
No. I just checked it to see if it was something on my phone.
And I just checked back here for 2 things.
Okay, I'm going to say something. Did it go away?
Yes.
It did. All right. Okay. This that you're looking at on the overhead just kind of outlines what's going on Friday and Saturday. There will be no drone show this year. And we currently have 7 entries in the art exhibit. And Michelle keeps telling me that's okay. They'll come at the last minute, so I'm not going to worry about that. Okay, also want to point out Liz did our August blog online, and a very beautiful one about living artfully and talking about the arts district. So if you haven't taken a look at that, make sure you do. You need.
I just want to second that. Liz, you did a really nice job. It's really nice. The photos are great, and the descriptions are great, and it felt really good to read it.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Okay, something just general information. We had a meeting with Ollie and Sharon Barton and Chief Studley about the Ivins Youth Council, and they're exploring a request for a graffiti art project. More information will be forthcoming. Talked a little bit about that in the Heritage Days meeting, and I think Mike Scott, their sponsor's been gone, so when he gets back, they will try to move forward on that. Don't really have a whole lot of details to share right now about that. Item 2E, we'll have a work meeting August 25th at 5:30. So that's an agendized meeting that we'd like all commissioners to attend. That's going to be our first meeting with the Ivins Arts District Committee. And so we'd like everybody to be there to kick that off and get things going there. Our next meeting, remember, we will not have a meeting in September. So our next meeting is October 14th at 5:00 p.m. Okay, now we're ready to move on to, let's see here. Item 3A, Utah Division of Arts, the exhibit dates, and those, I originally thought that we had applied for all of 2027 dates, and I think I mentioned this last time, but we're actually on October 2026. So the first art exhibit, Navajo Children Weaving the Future, takes place in October. And the second one, February of 2027, is related to the Constitution. These were approved by the city manager in collaboration with our Arts Commission and Parks and Recreation, and they will have displays in City Hall. And Caitlin, if you're not too busy, since you're kind of our school contact, would you be willing to, if I give you some information, maybe get in touch with the schools and see if we can get some groups to come over, some school kids?
Yeah, I think so, for sure. I've been meaning to get around to the schools physically so I can drop off some flyers and hopefully make the word more known.
Okay, good. And so we're not going to have a meeting now before this exhibit goes up. So the only other thing that we'll do, and Josie, I'll probably get a hold of you on this, they have some pre-printed information about the exhibits, and so I'll get a hold of you and we'll get some publicity out. We may try to schedule one evening event so that we can maybe catch people who work and can't get here during the day, and if that happens, I'll just get a hold of you guys by phone and see if you're willing to come or to be part of it. Are there any other questions or anything about that?
How long will the exhibits be up?
Okay. I just talked to Mark because I didn't have the dates, and the October one is going to be up for 5 weeks. Yes. Well, we'll see what happens. When we met with the curator of these exhibits, he told us 3 to 4 weeks, but once he gets all the requests, he has to build it around his travel. So I don't know. Chuck was all in on it. If it becomes an issue, we'll just have to talk to the curator when he gets here and see, what can or can't happen. I don't know what else to do about that. And it is a new thing that we're going to be doing, so I'm sure we're going to have lots of input about it, good and bad. Okay. The next thing we want to talk about, and I hope you all got the information that Daphne sent. When we started the It's a Wrap with the Southern Utah Veterans Home, and we'll talk about that specific project later on, but when we started that, we kind of discovered that we didn't have a lot of information that was documented as to what our procedures were going to be. I only found out a week ago that we actually had guidelines for the sponsors or the artists, and I'd never even seen that document before. So we'd like to take some time and get some approval on some specific procedures so that we can apply those equally to everybody going forward. I think, Daphne, if it's okay with you, I'll talk about the part, just the general information that I sent, and then have you do
Can I
the
give a little
guidelines?
overview too, since
Sure.
you started to? As she mentioned, I was a little surprised when I got Kathy's document about it's a RAB, policy review and update, and I thought, we already did that. We have guidelines. And so that's a good thing in a way, because I do think we need some policies. And it's interesting that the things she wrote, most of them were already in our guidelines. So it's just a matter of merging. And when I spoke to Kathy afterwards, I said, I think what we found out now is we have an application and a program application and agreement form. That's one piece of the process. The second process, we're going to keep the existing guidelines. They may need to be tweaked. And so there's some tweaking that might need to be made there. And that's because it's basically a dynamic document. These documents were created in 2023. And we've grown and things have changed a little bit about our policies. And so then that's the nice additional piece now that Kathy's included. So the two pieces that are going to go on the website will remain the same: the program application and agreement and the guidelines. The policy piece is for us and doesn't need to be shared with someone who's putting in an application. So I just wanted to clarify that before we started.
Okay, great. And I agree with everything you said there. One of the things I want input on to begin with is semantics of the application. We've got some places where I've said sponsor, some places we've said applicants, and we want that to be consistent. In my mind, I feel like sponsor is more indicative of what we're doing because they are actually sponsoring it by paying for it. As with Tuacahn, for example, when someone donates money to go towards a show or something like that, they're known as a sponsor, and it's kind of more of an honor to be a sponsor rather than an applicant. And so I guess I just want some discussion about that. What do you guys think about wording there?
I would agree with sponsor.
I agree.
Anybody
Sponsor.
else? Okay. So I think what we can do is just insert that everywhere that we have applicant. And then if we look at the material that you got from me, what I did is just take statements from documents that I did find and see if it was something that we wanted to include in our policy. So the first one, Daphne's already talked about the 3 documents, and we're going to have the application form and the guidelines, which will be on the website. The policy will be for us so that whoever comes after us knows how this program works and will know how to carry it forward. The second part, the background information, if you take a look at that, is anybody adverse to any wording in that information?
What paragraph are you on?
Where it says background on the first page. And I can read that if you want me. No, you got there. Does anybody have any issues with what that says? I basically took that, I think, off of one of our other documents, or maybe even the website had that existing information.
That came from the original stuff.
Okay, yeah, okay. So if nobody has any issues with any of that, we'll leave that in there. And then directly underneath that, Number 1, where it says potential artists, individual HOAs, groups, or other organizations wishing to, and I want to put the word sponsor in there, wrap a utility box, sponsor wrapping of a utility box or something like that. Anybody have any discussion on that? Is that okay?
That's fine.
Okay. Second page, number 2. There's 2 sentences there. Let's see here. I'm looking at. Okay, Daphne's not sure if the second sentence is necessary. That's the one that says program sponsors may suggest art for the box which they are sponsoring, but there's no guarantee that it will be the final choice. What do you guys think about that, in or out? Or rewording?
Or my rationale was that just if the commission's making the final approval, the sponsor, it doesn't make any difference what they think, because it's we're the one making the decision.
Except if we look at what happened at the Palisades, they presented us with a whole bunch of art from their HOA.
Right?
I mean, we have to approve it, but so I think that that's what you're attempting to present, right?
That's not clear. I didn't get that from that.
So maybe we just rewrite it, because, I mean, like the guy from the other HOA, his HOA, he was an artist living there, wanted to have something that represented them. You know, what I'm saying is I think it's fair to ask them, but it's got to be original art. I think that needs to be really clarified in there. It's not AI art. It's not something they get off the web. It is original art. I guess that's my biggest challenge.
You can clarify that even by saying AI images will not be accepted.
Accepted, yeah.
But I think you can you can just word it in a way that is not saying we can hate your art and turn it down. You know?
Right,
You
yeah.
can just make a statement
Right, yeah.
that says
Yep.
the
And it does say that
Ivins
for
City
the-
Arts Commission has final authority in deciding what art will be accepted.
And that is on here, on number 9.
Right, that's the first sentence. Okay, so the reference to original art probably needs to go somewhere else, I'm thinking.
Yeah, me
Maybe, I don't know, let's keep that in mind. Maybe it needs to go in number 3. All art curated through this program must follow the Ivins City Arts public theme. Any variation must be approved in advance. All art must be original
Yeah,
art.
that's a good
Would that fit
place.
there?
Yes.
Are you guys okay with
And
that?
I would even take it a step farther and say no AI-created
Yeah,
art will be
okay.
considered.
I agree with that, Liz. Yep.
Okay, I can probably, let's see, Liz, would you say the whole thing? And then I can get that off of the recording to update the policy. So how should we say that
From
then?
which point?
Just the sentence that we want to add. All art must be original and may not contain any elements of AI.
AI generated.
Or be AI generated.
AI-generated art
Okay.
will
It will not be accepted.
considered.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd make that a separate sentence. AI-generated art will not be considered.
Okay. Okay, number 4. Box sponsors will be responsible for the cost of the wrap production and installation of the wrap, as well as an artist stipend amount as set by this policy.
And I think that next sentence, is, since we changed it to box sponsors, we have to make sure we have that on the guidelines. Instead of it saying applicant, it should say box sponsors.
Okay.
So that those are aligned.
Okay, and then the second sentence, the city does not guarantee payment of any funds that any sponsor has agreed to. And let's see. Okay, so Daphne, we're rewording according to sponsor, so that's taken care of. Anybody else have any issues with either of those two statements?
No.
Not here.
Okay. Okay. Number 4, the current artist stipend to be paid per box is set at, that should say at, not a, 500. And actually, I'm not sure that's even true. We did vote to do that for the VA boxes. This stipend is per box regardless of the number of artworks or artists represented on the box. The Ivins City Arts Commission will annually review the stipend amount. This art stipend allows our community to support our local artists as outlined in our mission statement. Any issues with that? And that's one of the things that when we get done with this document, I'd like a motion to vote on that, because we haven't really had a vote to say that we want to fund the stipends at $500 per box until we review the policy again.
This is just a question of how it works, but I'm sure that $500 was approved at some point when we set up the original document. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Now we're going to put it in writing then. Okay. 5, a sponsor may request in writing financial assistance from the Ivins City Arts Commission on the funding of the RAB process. This request must be made as part of the application process. Additionally, funds must be available in the current RAB tax budget allotted to this project. At the time the funds are exhausted, no further assistance will be available during that fiscal year. So this is a big issue. Well, I don't know if it's an issue, but there's lots of information in here that we need to make sure we all understand. So who would apply for financial assistance?
Well, for example, in the case of the HOAs, we've agreed to pay up to 25%. And so if an HOA approaches us about putting in a box, and they have the right to ask us to pay that 25% of the cost, but we have final authority as to whether or not we will accept that.
Okay, and if an individual wants to pay for the whole thing themselves, they can't ask for 25%?
I think any sponsor can ask for 25%.
See, that's where I'm confused.
Yeah, any sponsor can, and they don't need to fill out a RAP grant application. They would come to us based on what we have in our budget. It's just,
okay, so I guess what I'm trying to think through here is, why wouldn't anybody want us to pay 25%?
Well, for example, the VA is funding it themselves.
Well, but we're paying the stipends, which they would normally pay, because that's...
Well, that's true. Okay.
Yeah, so, and it's more than 25%,
but
actually.
that was a project that
Right.
we identified as, this is a good project
Right.
for us. We as a group said, yes, let's embrace this project, because it's a big project and it's a timely year to do it.
Right, and I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm just trying to figure out a way to get this wording right, or maybe we don't even need it to be worded this way. Maybe it's just that we will pay 25% of the cost of the installation, or I don't know. What do you guys?
We may. It's a... Go ahead. You look like you want to say
Oh,
something.
I was just going to say that some of the HOAs may not want to pay. They may not want it. And for example, yeah.
Okay, so we need to tell them that, though, because if you don't tell everybody on the application that we may reimburse them or pay them 25% of the cost, then you're discriminating against someone.
Maybe it's as simple as saying a 25% reduction in costs will be paid, upon approval of, if requested.
But Daphne, if you had 10 people apply, And we have limited, so you can apply for and be potentially receive up to 25%. The boxes we're doing now, it's a completely different thing because that was us.
I would agree with that. So when you say they apply, do you mean they're applying as a sponsor or they're applying for the 25%?
They come forward to us, we have this idea, we want to sponsor this box. Oh, by the way, are we eligible? And you say, or we say, we will take it before the commission first and say, we like this idea, we like the artwork. If the city council approves it, we agree, or we'd have a vote on it, that we say 25% is reasonable for this. But, you know, every year we're going to have a different amount of money available. It's not like a slush fund that's unlimited.
I don't think we even need item 6. I think item 7 says what needs to be said.
Yeah, I agree, yes.
Because RAP tax, we can fund boxes out of our operating budget. We don't necessarily fund them out of RAP tax, and the commission can vote whether we have RAP tax money available or not to fund a box or partially fund a box. I would just leave 6 off.
Okay, we're talking about 5 right now.
Mine says 6 and 7. A sponsor may request in writing, that's number 6 on what I have.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, mine says 5. I'm sorry. I don't know where mine came from. Okay, how about box sponsors may be eligible for a 25% cost share based on current budget funding?
I would just leave it number
And
7.
Yeah.
That says,
What you have as number 7 is really good.
yeah, you don't
And
need
it's bullet
6 at
points.
all.
I like that. Simple.
Okay, read that to me, which one you're looking at.
The Ivins City Arts Commission may provide financial assistance in either or both of the following manners. All or a portion of the artist's stipend up to 25% of the production installation cost. Any funding request must be approved by the Arts Commission as a whole during a public meeting.
Okay.
That says everything.
What about, okay, prior to the approval of the project, should that be in there? No. No? Okay.
I wouldn't put it in.
Okay. So the sponsor may request in writing financial assistance. We want to take that whole thing out.
Number 6, out.
Out, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, what you might put is under 7C, any funding request must be approved by the Arts Commission as a whole during a public meeting and will be subject to our budget limitations.
Okay.
And I think that kind of wraps up the rest of what was included in 6.
Okay, got it. Okay. And okay, one other question, this was Daphne's, on the artist stipend. Is that any amount or not to exceed the 25% of production cost? Because what will happen is if we're going to pay something that's more than 25%, because the artist stipend ends up being more than 25%, then everybody would ask for that, and it would always be more.
The 25% is part of the production.
Right. But what I'm saying is, say 25% of the production cost is $340, and we're saying all or a portion of the artist stipend. Is that going to be not to exceed 25% of the production cost, or do we not even care?
You're getting in the weeds, Kathy.
Okay.
Yeah, it's too.
Okay. So,
And we got a big agenda. I'm sort of like, oh my.
okay. All or a portion of the artist stipend and up to 25% of the production installation cost Any funding request must be approved by the commission as a whole during a public meeting and will be subject to our budget limitations, right? Okay, all applicants must complete and submit a written application and sign the contract agreement prior to work commencing. Any issues with that?
I just have, I don't know if this is the appropriate place for it, but on
Okay.
the application, there isn't really a place for them to say that they don't have an artist, like they would like us to provide art, and I think it might be a good idea to have
That's a good
that
point.
added.
I agree.
That's a good point.
We can do that, and that's
easy.
separate from the policy. We'll just add that in there, and we'll
I just wasn't sure
update
if that was
that.
part of that or not.
Okay. Ivins City Arts Commission may, at their discretion, maintain an art inventory. That sentence, what do you guys think about that? That's something we need to vote on. That's something we hadn't really talked about before. I think you guys talked about it generally in the past, that if artists were willing to allow us to do that, we would maintain an inventory if people are looking for art. How do you feel about that?
I think it's a good idea to have that in there, but I think that the artist compensation needs to be addressed somehow there, or maybe, I mean, if we have a bunch of art that we've collected from artists, like a library, they wouldn't be compensated until such time as we use the art.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Does that need to be addressed in here somewhere?
What do you guys think?
Is this a public document or our doc? If it's for,
This is ours. This is not
okay,
public.
because if you are interested in having your artwork considered for a future box, yes or no, we will have an inventory. If they are selected,
Then they're paid.
Then they're paid.
Yeah. Okay. And actually, what happened with that first call, the people that didn't move forward in the call, I sent them a letter and told them we were considering this and to let me know if they were interested, and I've already got people interested in it. I think the one word I need to add in there, though, is digital, because it's something that we want to make sure that we're doing it digitally, and they understand that. And it's not kept in any other way. Okay. And that'll be added to the guidelines as well. Ivins City Arts Commission may, at their discretion, conduct a call to art to aid in curating art for box wraps. The commission will also curate the jury members. Any issues there? Okay, selected art must be created by local artists or artists represented by an Ivins gallery unless a specialty art need cannot be met locally. The Ivins City Arts Commission, in collaboration with the sponsor, will make this curation decision. What do you guys think about that?
I would change local artists to Ivins artists.
Okay. Can do that. Anybody else have anything they want to change there? Okay, and the last one, Ivins City Arts Commission plans to maintain this program with a designation of a lead contact as outlined on our annual plan and may from time to time provide information at public events and forums if requested.
It's fine.
Any issue with that? And I think the way it works right now, anytime I get anything on our main email account that has to do with It's a Wrap and they're looking for, want to do it, Daphne's our lead right now, so I just automatically send it to her, and she's the initial contact.
And I just didn't know about lead contact, if it's for us, and this document's for our commission, who knows who the lead contact is?
That's on our annual our plan,
Okay.
our annual plan.
Okay.
And every project that we do has a lead contact,
Okay.
so.
I know it said that, but I was just like, okay,
Yeah.
I don't really know what that means. But
Okay.
if that's where it is, that's good.
Okay, and the one other thing, I don't know if we're ready to vote on this tonight or not, but we've talked before and we need to see if we want to develop a maintenance budget proposal to go to the city council where annually we set aside a percentage to be kept for maintenance of the boxes that are existing.
Why, if it's part of, I thought that Patty was already doing that in the budget.
Just, it has to be a resolution that comes from the city because it's,
Oh,
yeah.
I
so
think we
have
need
to-
more thought on that.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think we need to do it for sure, but I think not tonight.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So,
We'll agendize that later then. Okay, so I am going to need a motion to approve the artist stipend amount to be included in all subsequent boxes. I will need a motion. I don't need a motion for the box sponsor. I think we got that figured out on financial assistance. And we'll need a motion to maintain an arts inventory. So,
Could we make it to the changes that we've discussed in this document? Can it just be or do you need it to
and
say
I would like to
specifically?
add something to the motion,
Okay.
that all three documents align.
okay.
That we-
Yeah, that's a good idea too.
And I like it that she said the changes that we've made tonight, so we don't have to specify that in the motion and then say that we're going to make sure they all align.
Okay. I think that would work. My concern was we need to do something tonight because I know Daphne has someone who wants to proceed with the box and we need to get all our stuff back up on the website. So, okay, Daphne, you want to make a motion?
Oh, okay. I move that we make, per the discussion this evening, all of the changes that we indicated, and that we will make those changes and make sure they align on all three documents, the guidelines, the program application agreement, and the policy.
I second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, motion carried. Thank you, guys. I know this was a lot, but I appreciate you taking the time to do that so that we have clear direction going forward.
Thank you for looking at it, too. It's just, we're into year 4 of It's a Wrap, so those things need to change.
Yeah. Well, and I just want to say, too, Daphne's done an excellent job with this program, and I think it's becoming more successful every day. It's the word's getting out, and so I think it's a great way for us to get public art out there.
Thank you, but it does take the whole village, so I appreciate everybody helping.
Okay, just a quick thing on trench art, which is going to be part of the Heritage Days exhibit. If you didn't notice when you came in, this is part of the trench art collection here that I picked up at a museum in Arizona. This is a flower base made out of an artillery shell from 1918. It's 108 years old. What you see up on the screen is just a little bit about why trench art is important and was important to those who served in war. And then these are some other examples, and I actually have some of these kinds of examples as well. So that'll be part of our Heritage Days exhibit as art education out in the foyer. Okay, so now we're ready to move on to Heritage Days art exhibit. So I'm going to turn it over to Michelle, and she'll give us all the details.
Thank you. Each of you has a volunteer sign-up sheet. I'm looking at you too. I'll make sure you see it's important we have at least 3 volunteers for each of our time slots. Thursday is when Thursday, September 9th, we receive the art here. And yes, I promise you it will walk in the door. Some people will sign up ahead of time, but especially the kids will walk in the door.
Okay.
In the past, and I haven't put Ben Blake on here yet, but the Blake family has always been really instrumental in helping us. They help us get access to tables and easels from the church and staff to help us move those things. Dave and also Jean, Daphne's husband, helped us move everything in. So it was interesting to see that a lot of the trench art is 3D. is 3D. So that's going to be tables, and we'll talk about how much you need. We can do round tables out there, which I think would look really nice. But whatever, that might be great. So Thursday night is that we receive the art and hang it. Caitlin, I haven't talked to you yet, but last year you helped with the nameplates. Will you be back in the office? Can you do those again?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. That would be great, because that was so helpful. I know that Kathy needs at least one person in the hallway at all times, and we have at least two. So that's why I said at least 3 people to work this room and the hallway for each. So you can see I've got so far 2 people on Friday night. The parade, that's really fun, you guys. And I know Liz is not available, but we just walk the parade with a cart. And this year we're throwing stress balls, just goofy stress balls. We have plenty of them. So let me know if you want to do that. Saturday first shift is 10 to 12. Second shift is 12 to 2. And then at 2 o'clock, and I think you'll want to talk to the mayor, because we have, okay?
I haven't done that yet.
And so I would say at maybe 1:45, 2 o'clock, we present the awards. We announce who the People's Choice is. He will need to make a selection of mayor's choice before Friday morning.
Friday morning,
Yeah.
okay.
Or afternoon, before it opens, because that ribbon will be up. It's a big deal. The People's Choice is a big deal. These artists really get excited about that, and it's a chance for the mayor to acknowledge the community. And all of us, if we can be there at 2 o'clock. The teardown is, man, it's fast. It's fast. I put down here 2 to 3, and it's hot out there. People want to come get their art, and when we receive their art, we tell them, make sure you come pick up your art between 2 and 3. And there's always somebody who doesn't. There's always.
So, Michelle, it's at 2 o'clock is the mayor's? Is that when he's doing it?
Or we could maybe say 1:45, have him here.
Okay.
That's what I would do. I'm trying to think offhand. We're going to have the Arts District sign, that display that we had at June 4th thing. We'll have that. Either it depends on what we get, either in here or out with the trench art.
Okay.
We'll just have to make those decisions. But please look at your schedule and let me know what works. I've been starting to make calls, so.
If you get in trouble for Friday night, I could, 5 to 8 on Friday night, I could do that. If you've got somebody else to do it, it's
Okay.
not the best time.
Yeah, and
for me.
I was exactly, and that's kind of how I feel. I know Mary was like, I can't stay till 8 o'clock, and I said, well, I will probably be here because you're doing the cowboy poetry. Dave's doing the lighting and sound for that. So we will be here. I just don't want to be tied here. And I think that's how probably you feel, right?
Well, I can't get here right at 5 because my piano goes till 5.
So,
But I could
Mary
come after that.
Maybe you could split with Mary, because she needs to leave early.
What time?
Whatever.
All right, I'll call her.
Yeah.
I could get here. I just can't get here right at 5
Yeah,
o'clock.
that's fine. And I know I'll be here at 5.
So for the parade, what, are we wearing anything special? Are we riding in anything? Are we walking?
I think we're walking with I'm not on the committee anymore, but
Oh.
I think it would be either
I
the
can be in
city.
parade, but I just
Yeah.
kind of want to know what I'm doing.
Well, either the
I'm not
city
singing.
either the new city T-shirts, or I like our Arts Commission T-shirts, and Caitlin designed them, and I think they're really pretty. But it's up to you guys.
That's fine with me. What do you guys think?
I think it identifies
I think it would
us.
be darling,
Yeah.
to wear those cute
And usually I just pick up balloons to attach to the thing. And
Okay, all right.
And what time do we need to be here? They told me we're supposed to be there at 7:30, and I think that's too
no,
early.
we don't need to be here at 7:30, not at all.
Okay, and I did ask them to put us towards the front because we needed to get back here for 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
So, okay.
So that's why I usually put myself on that first shift. I should be able to walk the parade by this year. I just don't know.
The cart.
No, you're not.
I'll put you in the wagon. We'll tote you around in the wagon.
Yes. Yeah, right. But it's really fun. It's really fun to be in the parade, I promise.
Okay, well, I'm in, for you put
Okay.
my name down. I'll
Good.
be here for the parade, but 8:30, not 7:30.
8:30. Yeah. I mean, does it start at 9?
Yes.
Okay, that's
They're
my
going to
parade.
line, he said they would line up, people would be all lined up by 8:45. So 8:30 is probably fine.
And we'll get assignments, but it's right on that corner.
Okay, yeah.
I think last year we were like right behind mayor and city council. I mean, we're right near the front. So thank you all. I appreciate you putting me in there because I have to leave early. I apologize.
Michelle, I've added myself too. I can work pretty much all day Saturday. I'll be at the parade, but I'm sorry to say this, but I'm walking with Tuacahn. So we have a big float that we need multiple people for. But I can work from 10 to 2 on Saturday.
Oh, wow. Okay, thank
So,
you, Josie.
of course.
I'll put you down.
I wrote it on my own sheet of paper.
All right,
and I'm like, I
good.
got to tell you.
Okay, thank you.
I'll add that I can do the first shift on Saturday, but I probably can't do that second shift.
No, I think that's a lot to ask of you.
Are you going to do the parade?
Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah, we'll bring a baby.
We can all three
right.
of you. He's got his T-shirt too. Yeah. Does baby needs one?
And I can do the afternoon on Saturday.
Okay, great. Thank you.
I'll just fill in where we need help.
Okay. Thank you all. Really appreciate it, and it's really fun. It gets a little tiring, but it's really fun. And the community's awesome. This is our chance to really sell the arts districts, and it's a wrap and everything. So it's cool. You going to be a volunteer this year, Barb? She's thinking.
Oh,
Wow. Cool.
is there a story there? Oh,
Oh, cool. Okay.
you're not performing. Oh, okay.
Because
Okay.
I'd come for that.
Yeah, maybe we'll all be in Pasadena for the weekend, right? Okay, anything else on the art exhibit or the parade? Okay, we're ready to move on to item 3F, the Arts District Committee, and I'll turn it over to Liz.
Okay, so I sent out the invitations to about 20 people that had expressed interest. I'm a little concerned that I might be having a problem with my city email again because I have gotten one response, and that came to my personal email, Deborah Hutchison. She always sends stuff to my personal. And Marcia Hawkins told me today, when I kind of rebuked her for not responding, she said, well, here it is, July 31st, I responded. I have gotten nothing. Oh, wow. So I am, and this just all happened the last 15 minutes before I came here that I talked to her. So I'm going to be calling tomorrow to see if there's an issue with my email that things aren't coming through. It seems really strange to me that I have gotten no responses after 2 weeks. So that's the first thing. We do have the meeting scheduled. I've reserved council chambers, and it's the 25th from 5:30. I reserved it through 7:30. I don't think it's going to be a 2-hour meeting, but that's when the room is reserved for. I sent you a copy of everything that I sent out that shows what I asked people to be prepared to talk about at that meeting. I also did some work on coming up with signage.
And it's behind you if you haven't seen
That's
it.
up here, and I just kind of sketched it out and then put it in AI because I can't draw. And so this is what I had in mind for that. I took the Red Mountain part from the city's logo with the stars over the top because I felt like it was important that we maintain some consistency with city branding, but I didn't want it to be exactly like that because we want it to represent the Arts Commission, not the city. And then I thought each district can decide what type of message they want to send on their signage. So this is just a suggestion. I wanted to have something to put forth at the meeting. Any comments on that?
It's fantastic.
Yeah,
I
I
love
love
it.
it. I love it. The only thing we ran into is the city says you can't attach anything to light poles, but hopefully we'll get that worked out. It's in the city code, but I think we can get.
I think they're going to want this.
Yeah, I think they will too. They won't want to put up more poles, I don't think. So I don't know. Do we have an in, Caitlin? Yeah.
Well, I was referred to the building department, so.
One thing, Liz, if you have an arts district that you know you don't have enough people for, maybe let us know for Heritage Days.
Not across
Oh, okay,
all of
great.
them, but it'll be interesting to see how many people show up for this meeting, and I need to just find out if I'm missing responses.
Yeah,
So I'm
okay.
very surprised.
Okay, one thing I want to do really quick, Michelle, before you have to leave. Okay. Bruce Anderson over at the Southern Utah Veterans Home. Now, this is F3, it's a wrap. This is a project update. So he got a hold of me. These are actually 2 artworks, and one, I think both of them were paintings, but I'm not really sure. One was created by a person that was in the VA hospital there who was a veteran, and the other one was created by someone from Iron County. And these appear to be what they're looking for. So if we think about this,
It's on their property.
yeah.
Are you worried about out of the desert? Is that what you're worried about?
Well, that and our call for art. We've gotten some beautiful art, and we've gotten some military related art, but it's nothing like this. And so I told him, I said, well, we all need to come together. So I just kind of want everybody's feelings about this. Are you guys okay with this type of art? Now, I also think that those 2 eagles that we moved forward are kind of in the same color tones and might be suitable for one of the smaller boxes. I don't know, but I'm thinking, I just want everybody's opinion. I know that we want them to be happy with it. And so what do you guys think?
I personally think that we need to have some latitude, given that all of the boxes are on their property. They are making a significant financial commitment towards funding the project, and this is kind of a special case in that it's really tough to merge those 2 goals.
Yeah.
I think all of those are really tasteful.
I agree.
And I think having the red mountain on the back of one, it kind of says they're fighting for freedom here for us. Mm-hmm. I'm impressed with that work.
Yeah, I think that we did it's a tough choice merging the out of the desert with the military, and I think that is maybe why we haven't gotten very many good applications either.
Yeah.
And
So-
so this is much better.
Yeah.
Okay, I am so relieved to hear that. Because I did. I was looking at everybody, Michelle, not just you. I know what we're used to having, and every time I had a conversation or talked to them, I was just getting a different vibe. And then when I got the jury results in, it was like they don't like any of it. And we also got another one that's along these lines that is a tribute to the public health service and women who worked in the public health service. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but it's really well done, and it's done by someone here in Ivins. So I think at this point maybe it would behoove us, Daphne, to go over and have a meeting with them. What do you think?
I think that's for sure.
Okay. Go ahead.
I have been in contact with Brian Assel down at Utah Tech, and also with one of the art painting teachers. They are very interested in participating in this project. he was saying, I can't visualize this.
You want those to
can
send
I-
to him? Absolutely,
To him?
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, because I think that would be a good opportunity, another good opportunity for us to partner with them.
Yeah, and I'm not willing to give up the call right now. I think we should still let that run a little bit longer and see what else we get. I know that, here's some information. Oh, okay. I just wanted you to be here for that, Michelle. I needed to know what you thought.
And Liz, one of the watercolor with the eagle, that also came from partly, Sean Rowley is a professor at Utah Tech, and so she's the gal that submitted that was through Sean. So there was a watercolor piece that came in from that. So.
Okay, so what happened with the first jury, and let me explain really quickly. I couldn't, jot form does not allow us to total things in the way I needed it to be totaled in order to get the information to make the decisions. So I ended up putting it back in Excel, and the Excel spreadsheet that you got was in the cloud, and so when you did your jury of the art, it automatically updated. You don't even need to send me a copy. It's very simple. Once you put something in there, it's there, and no one else can access it but you. So going forward, that's the process that we'll continue to use, and it's very easy for me. I have another spreadsheet that loads all those in and totals everything. So it took a little bit to get it built. Daphne and I went back and forth a lot making sure it worked, but it did work, and so that's what we'll do going forward. So the jury results, no artwork was chosen to actually be placed on a box. We have 8 pieces that the jury decided to forward to the next round, which ends in a few days, and then we'll jury that round. Hopefully Daphne and I will meet with the VA before the final round. Well, it may not be the final round. It just depends on how much more art we get, but we'll have another jury on 9/15 and see what we get from there. We also talked about using the cafe system, and Daphne's got some information about that, and we can maybe talk about that at a later time, or do you want to talk about it now? What do you think?
I don't know that we need to make a decision about it tonight, but I did talk to the woman that's in charge. She's in the Ogden's Art Commission, and she's a paid employee by the city. And they've done boxes, they've done bus stops, they've done murals, and they've done banners on signs. And she said they only use cafe for their call for art now, only. And she said what they've discovered over the years is every call for art, they put it out nationally. They don't just put it in for local residents because they are not getting the quality of art that they wanted to get for their city. And I had a great conversation with her, and she said, I said, did you get pushback from people about not just, taking people that lived in Ogden? And she said, no, because we specifically say, and her words were, we want to choose the best art for our city, and we are encouraging every local artist to apply so we can see you and we can hear you. And she said sometimes we get it, but she said the interesting thing that's happened is they've gotten nationally known people to do some of their work. And she said when they get them, they actually do a workshop when they come into the city for all the local kids and the artists and everything. And she said it also is bringing the level of the art in their community up by having the national people. And you can go on the Ogden City the UTA bus thing and look at some of the work and see it. But she was really convincing me that we need to use cafe to call for entries. And she said it'll just make it'll strengthen the applications that we get and the art that we have in our city.
Okay, so some of the things to think about with that going forward, it is expensive, $600 for the first year, and what is it, $370?
It's $595 for the first year because you have to pay a $250 initiation fee. Then after that, it's $370 a year.
Okay, and then part of our mission is to support local artists, so I just think we need to think about that, and we don't have quite as big a budget as Ogden does, so those are all things I think we need to think about before we make that decision. Any comments?
Well, the other thing is that there are different levels of projects, and for example, we've all been thinking about this Jacob Hamlin roundabout. We are probably going to have to go out beyond Ivins when we address that type of project. Conversely, I think that things such as It's the Wrap and smaller projects, I think that we should honor the artists that live in Ivins by giving them the first opportunity to submit work. And if we don't get what we need, then we might want to use another channel. So I don't think we need to have a strict policy. I think it should be considered per project.
I think that's an excellent point.
Like the category idea.
Yeah,
That's a good idea.
I do too. So that's just something I don't think we're ready to do right now, but something to think about for the future. We won't be voting on that or anything right now. Just a couple of things under additional items. I'm trying to get done in an hour. I'm not going to quite make it. An update on the roundabout asphalt art. Straight Stripe brought the paint vendor out to assess the condition of the art, and they determined that hot oil from tires is what is causing the tracking. Once temperatures cool down, the team will pressure wash the surface and touch up the paint. They're looking at a protective coating or reflective payment markers, and that came from Tiffany. So that's what's going on with that. And then the other thing that will agendize for the next meeting, which unfortunately is in October, but now that we have Josie on board, we need to talk about our communications and what types of communications we're going to be using, who's doing what, who's on first base, who's on second base, all of that sort of thing, so we're not duplicating any efforts there. In the meantime, if you have anything that you want publicized, get a hold of Josie. She's going to be our expert on that. And Daphne is still doing the newsletter, so any information that needs to go in the city newsletter, use Daphne, and then we'll get that all sorted out in October. Is everybody okay with that?
Caitlin, did you see yourself in the newsletter?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, and anybody else have anything to
I
add?
have one other thing. There's been a person that's wanted to wrap a box, and then we took the website down at the same time that they wanted to wrap a box, and I told them we would be meeting today on the 5th, and so yesterday they sent me their artwork. So I have the artwork. I don't know. What do I tell them?
Okay, yeah, because we probably don't want to wait till October. What do you guys think?
Still have a quorum.
Yeah. The other thing is,
Pass it around.
okay, and is it going to be all 4 of them?
Yes.
Is that, we'll pass that. Okay. The other thing, I know when you sent an email to them, Daphne, the stipend wasn't talked about. So we need to resolve that. What are your thoughts on that?
What is everybody else's thoughts? I think it's just what our policy is.
Is this an HOA or an individual?
HOA, yep.
Well, I mean, I think we have a policy regarding
Yep.
how HOA,
Yep.
how stipends are paid.
So-
is this one artist or is this 4 artists?
I think it's one. There was no explanation. I just got it. She sent it to me. She said she sent it a couple of days ago. She forgot to attach it. So today I'm like, hey, I never got your art. And then this came with nothing with it.
Okay, so the policy we just voted on was that initially, anybody who applies as a sponsor would pay the production and the wrapping costs and the artist stipend. And if they wanted a cost match, they would have to let us know, and we would determine that amount based on 25% of the wrapping or some amount from 0 to 500 based on the Arts Commission feeling. Did everybody agree with that? That's what we decided on. Okay, so
I'm thinking I can get back in touch with her. She doesn't have an application in yet. She doesn't have the artwork, but we could do all of this via, an email. So do you want me to proceed that way? I can get all the information from her and send it out again? And then we can vote?
We can vote by email.
no, we
photos?
can't.
Yeah.
So
We could, Barbara, you have a comment?
You're done.
We could agendize it and vote at the work. Well, I don't know if we can do it at the work meeting or not. I can check, but we could do it on the 25th of August if it's allowed. You want to try to do that?
Sure.
Okay, so you would have to let her know what the policy is, and then she needs to make an application, because
Yep.
we don't
And then
have-
I've got to get an estimate from Star Signs from them.
Yeah, so, okay.
I don't think we
So
can
we're not
act on
quite
this
ready.
without an
Yeah.
application.
No, I don't
in
think
hand.
Yeah.
we're ready tonight. I'm just sharing with what happened.
Okay.
So, and I've been talking to her since the middle of July, so.
Yeah, okay. Anybody have anything else? Barbara?
I'm Barbara Lewis. I live in Ivins. I want to thank you for the serious consideration you gave for changing wording for the application. But there's an issue that I didn't hear. Maybe you have details that already provide an answer. Someone comes in and wants to wrap box A, their cost is going to be $2,000. Somebody else comes in and wants to wrap box B, their cost is going to be $10,000 unless there's some kind of limit. They're going to apply for 25% of the installation cost, and they're going to apply. Is there no cap on the 25% reimbursement? Because they're going to be very different amounts of money.
The boxes are fairly standard in terms of the cost of wrapping them. I think the most expensive one we've done is, $3,500? Mm-hmm. And that was the one in front of Palisades. So you're not going to have a $2,000 to $10,000 range. I think you make a good point, though, that we may want to cap it at some point. I don't think we can decide on that tonight, but we may want to add some sort of a monetary cap. It is somewhat addressed by the statement that subject to limitations in our budget.
No, I understand that, but is it reasonable that they could be asking for hugely different amounts?
Well, the reasons that the cost would be different would be the size of the box.
Size of the box.
And that's the only,
Yeah,
that would be the only difference.
But the ranges are still within about $1,000
Yeah.
of each other for the smallest and the largest.
I just wanted to point out that I didn't
Yeah.
hear a cap. And
Okay.
That's point well taken, and I think right now I'm comfortable with the 25% based on the sizes of the boxes. Because they're pretty standard, the utility boxes in size, I think. If something in the future came up, though, where we had a larger space to do it, most certainly we would want to consider
I
that,
just wanted to
Barb.
bring it to your attention.
Yeah.
I do
Thank
have. I'm sorry. I do have a second thing because you brought up official email. In next door, there is a person in an Ivins HOA apparently representing an interest of their HOA to wrap a box, and they didn't have an artist. So she, in general, said, is there someone out there who might like to assist? A troll on the Nextdoor system answered with a false answer. And many of us who recognize this troll worked to get this person removed from Nextdoor, and that has happened. But to bring this, I'm sorry I didn't have your email address, but to bring it to the attention of everyone else, I sent an email to everybody about what had happened. I have no idea if you received it because not one person.
I responded to it.
I did not receive it.
I didn't get it.
I responded to it.
To me? or to other members of the commission.
I'd have to go back and look. I can't remember now, but all I said was thank you for the information and for your assistance.
I didn't get that.
Yeah, I responded to
And-
it.
No, and I did.
apparently-
I got nothing, Barb.
So there may be a problem with emails not reaching the commissioners. And of course,
Well-
your email address is wrong on the city website.
Yeah, I'm trying to get that fixed too. And evidently you have an issue with your email too, so.
Well, I don't know. Either that or nobody's responded to me after 2 weeks, which seems really odd.
Yes, that does.
Yeah, so,
All
thank
right.
you.
Thank you, Barb.
Okay. Anybody else have any comments?
Nope.
Anything? All right. Meeting adjourned, 6:10 PM.
Do you need a motion
Thanks
to
very
adjourn?
much.
Oh, shoot, I gotta have a motion, sorry.
Do you need to approve the minutes from last
Oh,
week?
we do. Thank you, Caitlin. I had that on the agenda. I'm so sorry. Okay, did everybody get a chance to look at the minutes from the June meeting?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, and there's an issue with posting the minutes, and they're working on that. I think what's going to happen in the future is prior to those minutes being approved and actually being posted on the website, I'll get a copy of those. If anybody wants a copy prior to our meeting, let me know, and I'll send it to you. And that's how we'll have to address that. So can I have a motion to approve the minutes of the June meeting?
I move that we approve the minutes from the June meeting.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. The minutes have been approved from the June meeting. Now I need a motion for adjournment.
I make the motion that we adjourn.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, now the meeting's adjourned, 6:11 p.m.